What's up guys? Today's video is on the top 5 laptops for music production in 2020. Through extensive research and testing, I've put together a list of options that will meet the needs of different types of buyers, so whether it's price, performance, or its particular use, we've got you covered. For more information on the products, I've included links in the description box down below which are updated for the best prices. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. We're skipping a top budget pick today, and we'll open up with the best value laptop instead. Essentially, budget PCs and laptops are not generally suited for music production due to their low performance specs, and as most people know, music production and engineering tends to devour RAM while putting a ton of pressure on the CPU. That's why, if you want to get the most value for your money, we suggest going with Microsoft's Surface Laptop 3. Granted, it might not be the strongest performing laptop ever made, but it packs robust features and offers much in terms of versatility. Even though size is not exactly an essential spec for music production, it affects the performance of a laptop in general in terms of compactness and overview. The dimensions of Surface Laptop 3 measure 13.5 inches by 2 inches by 10 inches, and it weighs approximately 3.4 pounds. It's not only small, but it's also quite light, and it packs a 13.5-inch screen size. Speaking of which, Surface Laptop 3 rocks a pretty decent touchscreen that is supplied with a pen input. Aesthetics-wise, it is available in several color style variations, including platinum, cobalt, blue, matte black, and sandstone. This laptop comes with pre-installed Windows 10 OS and supports both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity. With that out of the way, we can proceed on to its main specs. You can choose pretty much every main feature of this laptop before you order it. Your options in terms of CPU are either Intel i5 or i7, both of which are strong enough to support pretty demanding music production tasks. Obviously, the i7 core is superior, but it does cost quite a bit extra. As far as graphics go, your options are not as limited as with the processor. Compatible GPUs are Intel's Iris Plus, AMD's RX Vega, AMD's Radeon graphics card, Radeon Vega 9, and Microsoft Surface dedicated graphics cards. Basically, you won't need a powerhouse GPU, so any of the aforementioned models will do the trick. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about onboard memory. This laptop can be configured with up to a terabyte of SSD, starting with 128 gigabytes over 256 gigabytes and 512 gigabytes. We strongly recommend going with a terabyte as you'll need all the space you can get for your plugins, softwares, demos, and rough mixes. Another important feature we didn't mention yet is the battery lifetime. Surface Laptop 3 offers 11.5 hours on a single charge, although it's pretty slow when it comes to recharge. All things considered, even the lowest spec configurations of the Surface Laptop 3 are pretty formidable, not to mention the highest spec ones. If you're looking to score the biggest bang for your buck, we recommend that you at least keep Surface Laptop 3 in consideration. Most popular OS options for composing and producing music are Windows and Apple's Mac. If you're in the Windows camp, we suggest that you check out what Dell XPS 13 has to offer. This is a relatively simple laptop that packs a set of well-rounded features that are equally good for gaming, movie watching, student tasks, and music production. Let's start off with its dimensions. The Dell XPS 13 rocks a 13.3-inch screen, and its dimensions measure 11.9 inches by 7.8 inches by 0.5 inches. It packs an ultra-thin profile, and it's easily one of the lightest laptops on the market since it weighs just around 2.6 pounds. The screen of this laptop is pretty amazing as it is supplied with the Infinity WLED technology that enhances the color gamut range while also being pretty easy on the eyes, allowing you to sit in front of your laptop for hours without experiencing any kind of fatigue. It comes pre-installed with Windows 8.1 operating system, which certainly eliminates the need for searching for installation disks and waiting for the system to become functional. One of the main benefits that this laptop has to offer is amazing battery lifetime. Namely, a single charge of Dell XPS 13's battery can give you more than 15 hours of total playtime. This is several hours above average. The recharge time is also pretty low, which is another huge plus. Unlike our previous pick, Dell XPS 13 is fully assembled and configured already, which will probably mean a lot to people who are not too well versed with PC and laptop specs and features. The first main spec of Dell XPS 13 is the Intel's i5 5200U CPU. This is a 2.20 GHz processor that can reach 2.70 GHz with the Turbo Boost feature. Although this is not a gaming-worthy CPU, it is strong enough to support basic and intermediate music production plugins and programs. Furthermore, this laptop comes equipped with 4GB of DDR3 RAM. 4GB are a tight fit, so you might want to upgrade to at least 8 when you are able to. Dell XPS 13 also supports Intel's HDG 5500 graphics card. Now, the main problem with this particular configuration is that you'll only get 128 gigabytes of SSD at your disposal. Even though having an SSD on board does have its own merits and benefits, 128 gigabytes is simply too low, so you'll probably need another HDD as an upgrade. Given the fact that this is a low-end laptop meant for all-around use, it actually performs much better than you'd bargain for. This is certainly one of the finest entry-level Windows laps, and we highly recommend it to Windows enthusiasts and people on a cash-strapped budget. Next up is Asus ROG Strix XCar 3 as our most powerful laptop for music production laptop pick. Essentially, this laptop is equally suited for any kind of task and theme, be it gaming, video editing, composing, binge watching, or music production, simply because its features are absolutely staggeringly strong. The dimensions of this laptop measure 14.19 inches by 10.83 inches by 0.98 inches, and even though it's quite heavier than our previous pick, it's still pretty light with only 5.67 pounds of weight. It also sports a pre-installed Windows 10 OS and supports both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connection modes. The highlight feature of Asus ROG Strix XCar 3 is the 6-core Intel i7-9750H CPU that offers incredibly robust performance. It's pretty safe to say that you will be able to tackle down even the most demanding music production chores with it. Furthermore, the Strix XCar 3 features 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, upgradable to 64 gigabytes, as well as GeForce RTX GPU. Basically, its main specs are incredibly powerful, but not unnecessarily overpowered. As a matter of fact, you will be able to run the latest games with this laptop, which essentially means that it can do pretty much anything. Additionally, this laptop features 3 different performance modes, including Turbo, Balanced, and Silent, allowing you to adapt its performance for different kinds of music production tasks. The Silent mode is perfect when you're doing the groundwork, the Balanced mode is perfect for mastering, while the Turbo mode shines the most during the mixing stage. The obvious downfall of Asus ROG Strix XCar 3 is that it costs quite a bit. However, there are numerous ways to justify its hefty price tag. It excels in virtually every possible field of performance, and it's absolutely perfect for music production, engineering, and studio work, so if money is not too much of an issue for you, look no further than Asus ROG Strix XCar 3. Regardless of whether you are an Apple fan or not, the Macbook Pro 13 is a formidable laptop, and it definitely deserves its spot in our top 5 laptops for music production 2020 review. Apart from the top shelf features it comes supplied with, it also rocks proprietary and unique software and accessories that add more value to it, while also setting it apart from similarly priced non-Apple laptops. The dimensions of Apple Macbook Pro 13 measure 11.97 inches by 8.36 inches by 0.59 inches, and it weighs approximately 5.34 pounds. It's not the most compact or the lightest laptop out there, but it's definitely neither heavy or bulky. The first notable feature of this laptop is the quad-core Intel i5 CPU. Only a handful of laptops in this price range come equipped with better processors, not to mention that Apple integrates them in a much more efficient way. In terms of GPU, the Apple MacBook Pro features Intel Iris Plus 645 graphics, which is a solid, high-performance feature. Even though you might be able to find a bit more versatile graphics cards for the buck, you don't actually need a stronger one for the purposes of music production per se. Storage-wise, you'll get to opt between 128 or 256 gigabytes of SSD. Although solid-state drives do have their own advantages, you'll probably need to upgrade this laptop with another hard drive with at least 512 gigabytes. Now, the only feature that we're not too content with is the battery life. Namely, MacBook Pro offers only 10 hours of total battery lifespan, which is slightly below average. However, due to the fact that all of the other features are of tremendous quality, it's pretty easy to look past this little flaw. We're wrapping it up with Razer's Blade 15 as our best overall laptop for music production pick. Basically, this is a well-rounded high-performance laptop that comes supplied with a variety of state-of-the-art technologies, and it has more than earned its place in our review. The dimensions of this laptop measure 9.25 inches by 13.98 inches by 0.66 inches, and it weighs 4.56 pounds. It offers a pretty sleek design, and it is quite light in comparison to an average laptop. Its screen size is 15.6 inches, and it comes with a pre-installed Windows 10 home operating system. One of the finest features that Razer's Blade 15 has to offer is the Intel i7-8750H CPU, which should be more than strong enough to accommodate all of your music production needs. Furthermore, this laptop rocks NVIDIA's GTX 1060 GPU and 16 gigabytes of RAM, so in a nutshell, its main specs are quite bombastic. Additionally, Razer's Blade 15 packs the exquisite vapor chamber cooling technology as well as the dedicated gaming mode, both of which are not necessarily needed for most music production tasks, but they add a bit to its overall value. Generally speaking, Razer's Blade 15 might seem like a bit of overkill at first in terms of specs and features, but if you are looking for an all-rounder laptop that can tackle down heavy-duty mixing and mastering, you will be beyond satisfied with what Razer's Blade 15 has to offer. Thanks for watching, and that's all for now. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Till next time, see you guys later.